Welcome to the weekly, and welcome to Matthias Studios and Pottery here on the South Shore of Boston, Massachusetts, in the heart of Marshfield Center, the only active pottery in the region. Well, there's a lot to discuss with you on this weekly, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. First of all, there were a lot of comments on last week's The Weekly. Very minimal video, but a lot of interest. So let me explain myself on last week before I get to this piece of pottery. Some of you may know this, some of you don't know this, but I am moving yet into another medium, and that would be the art of woodcraft. And this is an example. I have not listed my boards and bowls on my website as of yet, matthiasstudios.com, but these are going to be listed soon. If you're local, they are now on display at Violet Floral Shop in Cohasset. A wonderful floral shop. If you haven't been there, you must make the effort to stop in. She's open daily. She has wonderful floral work, but she also is contributing to the arts in this region by having local artists show their work in her shop. And my boards and bowls are in there, and I'm starting to work a lot with wood, especially reclaimed chestnut. That's what most of 90% of my boards are made out of reclaimed chestnut. So please stop in. You can purchase them there, but they will be listed on my website very soon. So last week I was foraging. Some of you know I live on Wrexham Beach at the iconic Pink House. And I was foraging wood last weekend and thought I would share a clip with you. I found this beautiful piece of wood on the beach. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but that's what that clip was all about. I'm just starting to share this next medium that I'm moving into. So I'm very excited about it. There's something about working with clay and working with wood. I don't know, I'm trying to meld them together. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of that happening in the new year. So, what is this all about? Well, this is now, every time we talk about moving into different directions with my clay, I'm all about increasing the size and volume of the piece itself. So this is now to date the largest molded vessel that Matthias Pottery has produced. I molded this piece, it's been drying, and now it's time to take the piece out of the mold. And as many of you know, it's a very nerve-wracking process because this is the point where clay is at its most fragile state. It's molded wet, and then it dries, and it needs to be taken out of the vessel. And I would say about 20% of the time, that clay shatters when it's removed from the vessel. So I did one unmolding, let's put it that way. That was a while back ago. That was back then my largest piece, and that piece is at Violet Floral Shop currently. And now this is the second stage. I'm increasing the volume and size of the piece. So we're going to unmold this piece. And the way to do that is to put it upside down very gingerly, and then we unmold it. So I'm going to start that process. And by the way, if the piece does shatter, I figured out a way to use those shattered fragments in a very useful way. And those fragments are now featured at the frame shop in Hanover. They're on display there. They're having their holiday, it's about a 2-month show of artists. So again, if you're local, stop at the Frame Center in Hanover. You'll see my shattered works become pieces of artwork. Okay, so we're gonna lift this gingerly, very gingerly. See, it's starting to slide, so I have to prevent that from happening. Let's hope it does not break, because it is really a beautiful piece. No sounds of breakage yet. All right, here we go. The big reveal. Very carefully. So I line the mold with plastic so that else it would stick to the mold. So it's kind of sticking to the plastic, but it comes off rather nicely. And there we go. So I have some of the plastic is sticking into the seam. That's a seam line where the clay meets. We've lifted the mold off, sticking in the seam still. There we go. So that was the mold lined with the plastic, and this is the piece itself. We're going to remove the bottom there. That's where the logo will go. So the next step is just gingerly taking it up. And there we go. There is now intact my largest vessel to date. This will be put into the kiln this week to be fired. So you'll probably see another video of it next weekend, glazed and finished. So until then, as always, stay mindfully creative. Love the feel of that.